Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Zipper Through Fog. The actual full title of the puzzle is Zipper Through the Fog, just a bit condensed here to try and make it fit in the thumbnail and still be legible, of course. Now, I guess you can only do so much when you keep talking about zips. So this time I'm going with a zipper line of sort, but somehow it's essentially a car that's being pulled along this zipper line. And Sleuth, for whatever reason, is very carefully studying that line, as we probably will be when we take a look at today's puzzle. Now, I know that fog is a channel favorite, so it's not an accident that I've necessarily looked at this puzzle and picked it. At the same time, we know that puzzles from the constructor Megan 033 have always been fantastic, so I'm really looking forward to it. Rules-wise, so we have a few rules, based on you can see the number of bullet points on the screen. First one is normal Sudoku rules apply. If I can even select a row, that means the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Then we have kind of a twist on a set of puzzles that we've seen recently where the statement is there is only one and only one line throughout the entire fog. Well, the entire grid. Along with which each pair of digits that are the same distance from the line's central cell, indicated by the filled purple circle, must sum up to the digit in the central cell. So, that's a long way of saying, let's say that this is 7 and this cell is 1. Notice that they're both equal distance away from the circle, so that would have to be an 8. I could put 2 and 6, for example. That would be another way of also getting to 8, and they are, excuse me, two steps away from the circle. But the other thing that is kind of hard to show you is this purple line will probably traverse the grid somehow and come back, and there is only one line. So whenever we are able to determine whatever that total is, we're going to be able to use it consistently throughout the entire puzzle. So looking forward to that for sure. There's a fairly obvious statement coming up here. The grid is partially covered with fog. Correctly placed digits will clear the fog around that cell. And no guessing is required. So if we assume that this cell here, which is a 6, is correct, then all of the fog that's surrounding it will be cleared and hopefully shows us some more clues so that for us to be able to continue with the solve. A black dot between cells indicates cell values with a 2-to-1 ratio, and a white dot between cells indicates a consecutive set of values. Not all dots are given. So this cell here where I've placed a 1, that would mean that this would have to be a 2, so that it is indeed consecutive with the 1. If you just suspend belief for a second and assume that this white dot that I'm pointing at is black rather than white, well, we know that these two cells have to be, one cell is double the other in a 2-to-1 ratio, so that could be 1 or 4. In this case, I've already placed the 1, so that would be a 4. Not all dots are given, so if there is a 3 in here, no black dots. We can definitely see no kind of hemisphere peeking through the fog there. That's not a problem. Negative constraints do not apply. Digits in a white circle must appear at least once in the 4 surrounding cell, so I can see what looks clearly like a digit 6 in here, and therefore somewhere in the 4 cells surrounding that circle must be the digit 6, such as this one. But it could be anywhere, of course. It doesn't have to be just the one, so if I place a 6 in here, that could also be a 6, and that would be fine. What else do we have? Cells with a filled square must be even. Okay, tough to show you. And digits in a cage do not repeat and sum to the clue in the top left corner. So somewhere in this fog is going to be a cell with a gray square. And it's saying that this will have to be even 2, 4, 6, or 8. What it's also saying is in this fog is what would look like a cage, so essentially a bunch of dashed lines that are surrounding a set of cells. Let's say it's this one. And the top left corner in here will be a sum. And essentially, the cells that are in this cage, let's say all of these pink cells, will have to sum up to whatever it is that's given in the top left. And they do not repeat. So even these two cells could be the same. They are not. That's all the rules we have for today. So if you fancy like zipping through the fog along with Sleuth and see where they're up to in this adventure, link will be in the description down below for you to join. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So I think we can reason about what the possible sum is. So the natural inclination would be that it's going to have to be a pretty high digit. And I know that it is at least a 5 because I need 2 unique pairs that will get to this digit. So this is 5 or higher. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive digits. So I absolutely know that it is not 5 because 5 has to be somewhere on these white Kropke dots. And therefore this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. Now, the fact that the zipper line is all of these cells, if I don't place a 9 in the center, I can't place them anywhere on the branches because 9 and then a minimum of 1 would add up to 10, which I can't write in normal Sudoku. So the 9 is definitely not on these cells. Now, if I place the 9 on here, that'll be 9, 8, 7. I can't place it on the branch, remember? So if I place it off the circle, well, that'll be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and I've broken it because then I only have digits lower than 5 to go into the center. So that has to be 9. Which also means, so think about the fact that this is a consecutive set. So I can't do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because then I'll be left with 6, 7, 8, 9 in here, which is just ludicrous. That's not going to get us to 9. So I need to leave some low digits to join up with high digits to get to 9. So my temptation is something like 1, 8, 2, 7, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That seems highly likely. Like, highly likely. What if I do it? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One of these cells is on here. So I think it has to be from the 1, 8 or 2, 7. So I could do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would work, and then 7, and then 1, 8. So this cell is 2, 7. Next one is 3, 6. Then we have 4 5s. Then we have another 3, 6. Then we have another 2, 7. Then we have 1, 8. And so far, haven't really placed a single digit to help me actually confirm that this is a 9 and everything else that I've just done is correct. These are clearly not 6s, I meant 5s. And right now, both directions work. This could be descending 6 to 2, or it could be ascending 3 to 7. Yeah, I'm reasonably satisfied that's a complete set of possibilities. Now, one thing we have in place so far is a 6. And the 6 for this quadrant circle has to be one of these 2 cells. And we can clearly see the zipper line is heading in this diagonal, and it would match up with this cell. And that's the answer. That's our first, well, I mean, I'm not really counting the 9. If I place a 6 in here, I have to place a 3 in there so that they still add up to 9. They're going to be equal distance away from the 9. 1, 2, 3 cells, 1, 2, 3 cells. Now, there are different digits to get to 9, and then what would happen to this 3, 6? I'll break it. So that is, a 6, and that could still be a 7 for that 6, 7. And notice now the even square that I was mentioning, well, it's not 6, it's not 8, this is 2 or 4. This would now have to be 1 or 3, can't be 5 inside a 2-cell 10 cage, because that would be another 5. So that's not 5, and therefore this is going to be 7 or 9, depending on whether this is 1 or 3. And this would have to be with this cell, so this is, well, it can't be a 9 on the zipper, obvious. And Sudoku, Sleuth, the 3 still allows us to have both 2 and 4, and that 7 gives us a 2 in here, a 7 in here, a 2 in here, and then gives us the order 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely. These 2 cells are next. So I'm kind of half tempted to color this so I don't have to keep counting. So purple is a bad choice. Maybe I don't need to color this box. Let's just go with that. that's blue. These two are blue. And then these two cells, well, at least this cell and this cell are green. We'll figure out what they are in a bit. Right, 11 cage. And 3 is gone, and 1 of 2 or 4 is gone. So my options are, and I think it is force, 1, 2, 8. If I don't use the 2, my next set of digits would be 1, 4, as in this is a 2. 1, 4, and that's already at 5, and then I'd need a 6, which I can't have. Yeah, and so that was easier to show. What are the possible digits in here? Well, I can't place 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is force. This is 1, 2, 8. That's a 4. This is, well, this is the 9, just Sudoku. And therefore this is a 5. And therefore this is a 4. And this is my next green. This is my next, I don't know, yellow. And we'll come back to it in a bit. I say a bit, you never know. Sometimes I say that and then it's immediately now. So this is not a 3, 4, 7 cage because I can't put either of them in here. And it's not a 2, 5 cage. This is a 1, 6 cage. And that 6 gives me an order. That's 6, that's 1. That's not 1. Oh yeah, 2 and 4 in the same box as the black crocky dot. Well, we know that this is now 3, 6. Because essentially it's either 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8. And it's none of these because I've already placed 2 and 4. So that can only be 3, 6 for sure. This cell we know, kind of. So it can't be 2 because this cell can't be a 7. But it is another 1, 8. Okay, maybe, yeah, maybe we are thinking about these next. So this is 1, 4, 8. And the green cell would have to be, well, if it's 4, it's 5, which is not, but it could be the other 1, 8. And then this yellow cell, well, we do know what this is. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6, 7, 9. Again, can't have 9 on the zipper line. 6 and 7. This would have to be 2 or 3, and I don't know which. Oh, it's not 3. It is 2, and this is 7. Next 2. So these, well, this is yellow. Yellow, and then an orange. I don't know where this continues afterwards. So the 13 cage. So there's a few options. But actually, let's just pencil mark what these options are. This is 2, 3, 5. And therefore, the flip side of that, if this is 5, that's 4. If this is 3, that's 6. And if this is 2, that's 7. 4 would require a 9. And then another 6, 7 with the 6, 7. So far, all options are seemingly on the table. Well, this 5 is not here because that's not a 6. This is 8 or 9. These 2 cells we know. And we know because it has a 9, and that's 3, 9, because there's no 9 in the rest of this column. Therefore, 9 and 4 are off. And therefore, this is not a 5. And therefore, this is a 6, 7 pair, and this is a 5. 1, 2 here gives me 3, 4, and a 1, 2. 4s, now that I've removed it from the 13 cage, is placed. 1, 4, 8. I don't know why I ignored that earlier. This is 1, 8 or 5 to go with whatever this is. And all of them are available. And this is another 1, 5, 8. Okay, rest of this. In fact, this digit is just known. What is it? Because essentially I've got another 1, 5, 8, and then I have a 1, 5, 8 triple. This is a 7. Then I have another 1, 8, a 5, and 9. 1, 5, 8, 9. 1 in here would be 2 there, which it isn't because of this 1, 2 that was part of the 5 cage. So that's not 1, that's not 2. The 5 in here can't be a 4. Sorry, it can't be a 6, but it can be a 4. The 8 can't be a 7. It would have to be a 9. And then the 9 would obviously be an 8. So this is 5, 4 potentially. Or 8, 9 pair. How do I eliminate some options? 8 cage maybe? Let's think about this. No, why would it eliminate any of these? And this orange cell is this orange cell. Let's think about that one next. So this could be, let's think about it, not 1 or 2. If that's 3, that would be 6, which is not. If that's 4, that would be 5, which is possible. And then 5, 4 is also possible. 6 in here is not. 7 with a 2, yeah, possible. And then 8, not possible because that can't be a 1, or in fact, neither of them could be a 1 because of this cell. And these cells now are next in terms of being a pair. Well, this is not 1, 7. This is not 2, 6 as in inside the 8 gauge. This is 3, 5. So that's not a 5. Therefore, that's not a 4. This 3, 5 would pair up with 4 or 6. Yeah, still not placed. I mean, I'm going to have to sort of revisit what I'm doing in a second. 6, this could be 7. And then it would have to be 8 because it can't go back down. If it's 4, well, this can't be a 5, so this would have to be a 3. And then it can't go back up to a 4, it would have to be a 2. And so far, there's a ton of options that are working. I clearly am missing something. Made a mistake, haven't I? No, I didn't. Have I? No, I haven't placed. Huh. Then red. Then whatever this is, and whatever it is in here. Okay, let me just pay attention to what we've been given. Because we shouldn't need to guess. That's not a 1. That is a 1. One is one of 2 cells. Not very useful. And we have a lot of 1/8s, and I'm just wondering if I can figure out any of them. Yeah, I'm not sure. One, 8, 1, not 1, not 8, another 5, 8, which gives me 1, gives me 8. Okay, so yes, I made progress. Hasn't exactly helped me, has it? 8 in here, though, means no 8s. Therefore, that 8 removes a 9 as an option from here. 5, 4 would make this 6, 7, 8. That works. And therefore 3. And that 1 made this an 8, made this a 1, and has confirmed that this is indeed 5, 4, 6. Ho, 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 ho. I made a mistake. Were there more options? No, I just haven't considered. No, this is a 3, 5 pair. And a 5 either goes with a 4 or the 3 goes with a 6. And I just placed a 4 with this 5. And this is a 5 because this can't be an 8. What? What mistake did I make? Yes, there was a 1 in the column. So that could have been the 1. I just saw it in here and thought, yeah, that's it. Okay. So I am definitely missing something. Let's have a look. It's probably going to be Sudoku. It's always Sudoku. this 7 gives me a 5, which gives me a 4. And hasn't exactly helped me here, but it's just what I notice is I don't have another 3-4. So this is another 3-4 as far as I could tell. Yeah, and that's an 8-9 pair. Interesting. That 4 eliminates a 4 from here, which eliminates the 5. Therefore, this is an 8-9 pair. This is 1. This is 8. This is 8. This is 1. These are not 1s. That's a 4-8 pair, which makes this not 8. I mean, that was obvious. That is 1-5. That does make this an 8. That does make this a 1. That is not a 1. That is a 5 because we've got an 8-9 pair. Excellent. That would have been a mistake. That would have haunted me for a while if I had to unwind all the way back to here. So yeah, I get the appeal of fog for sure. These two are the same. I'm going a bit slow because you can see this is sort of the limit of how many pencil marks I can do without starting to miss things. And that 1, for example, gave me a 2 and 3, and therefore a 4. That was a 2, that was a 1. So anything else that I need to tidy up? Not to my knowledge. It does still leave this as 4 or 6, but I mean, I've massively reduced the options for these two cells. So I'm wondering if that's next, but just before we do that, no harm in just making sure I've not missed any Sudoku, such as a 5. And then this is the end of the line, end of the zipper line for one of them, and then I guess the end of the zipper line for the other will be somewhere in here. So this is probably doing something like this. And therefore this is doing something, whatever it is. Not to worry. Right, let's think about these two cells. That's not 1. It cannot be 2, 3, 4, 5. It can be 6. It's not 7. It could be 8. Flip side would be 1 and 2. It's not a 2. Sorry, 1 and 3. And it's not a 3. So that is 1. That is 8. Therefore, that is 2, 3, 4. And that 3 gave me a 6, a 3. And this cell is now known. It is a 7. And that 8 gave me a 9 and a 2. And next set of digits, kind of starting to run out of colors a bit, that will be visible. It's purple. Yeah, that's awful. Let's just do a bit of Sudoku as well then. This is another 8, 9, and it's not an 8. That's a 9. That's an 8. That's a 9. That's an 8. This cell is just known. It's a 7. So this 7 is one end, and this is the other end. So that's the 2. That's the 7. This cell is now known. That 1, 5 is still not resolved, is it? No. This cell is known. It's a 9. These two we can pencil mark at a minimum. 6 and 8. So that would make this a 1 or 3. Both of which are available. This cell would be partnered up with here. I am going to do purple. You're just going to have to forgive me for that. So whatever this cell is, which is not 1, 2, it could be 3. It's not 4. It could be 5, 6, but not 7 or 8. And if it's 5, it's 4, which is available. If it's 3, it's 6, which is available. And if it's 6, it's 3, which is still available. Not sure I've learnt much here. And then these two cells. Okay, these two cells surely are known because this is a 3, 5, 6 triple. And therefore this has to be 3, 6. And therefore this has to be 5. And this has to be 4. And we've very nearly revealed all of the fog. Now we have. Done. Right. I say done. I mean, you know what I mean. Not done, but done. 6 and a 3 in here gives me 5, 3, which, well, was resolved. 5, so that's just 3, and therefore 6, 7, 1, 5, 9, and 3. No, not resolved. Let's have a think what's going on here. That's 1, that's 6 is resolved. And we're basically there. And if I've not made any other mistakes, that's an 8 for the finish. It's a phenomenal puzzle as usual, Megan. And yeah, just need to keep working on my scanning, just missing that 1 as a possibility there. But what a lovely puzzle. Hope that you guys enjoyed it, the puzzle and the video. As always, some entertaining mistakes here and there. And see you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.